welcome to Joe's Atmosfere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard. It's time for State of the Atmosphere. We got a lot to talk about tonight. And as usual, I've got a friend with me. It's John Das Wolfen. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's new and exciting with you?
I get to Bachelor it tonight.
It's
Allie's at a conference for overnight and won't be here till tomorrow. So I got to fend for myself. So
I think you can do it. You've been doing it for a long time. This Allie thing is a new thing. So
yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think you can deal, bro. I think you can deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I find that both of us, me and Rhonda, both, excuse me, especially now that she works at home, we enjoy our alone time when we get it. You know what I mean? Because we're always around each other pretty much, When I go to work those 2 nights on Thursday and Friday night, she enjoys it when I'm gone, Not because I'm gone, but because she can do stuff that, she usually doesn't do when I'm here, right? But anyway, well, I'm glad to hear you're doing good, man. I'm glad to hear Allie's doing good. Looking forward to, what is it, April? You guys are...
we moved it. It's April 26th. It's Saturday. It's last Saturday of the month.
Yeah. Is this your first marriage?
Yep. Be my first one.
Wow. Dude, you go, man. You go. It took me 3 times to get it right.
Texas. Well, I plan on...
You're going to do what now?
It looks like we're going to do Texas for our honeymoon.
Really?
It's something we could drive to, and then next year we'll do like a cruise. The next year after that, like 26, we'll put some money back for a cruise.
Yeah. Well, that sounds cool, man. Sounds cool. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, I'm looking forward to going because I'm definitely going to make that one. And it's not that far away from me. You're just Arkansas away. So
yeah.
You're right straight north of me. So we used to go to Missouri quite a bit. Rhonda's got relatives in Springfield. So we used to go there all the time. But anyway, all right, boys and girls. Well, let's get to it. We got the pop culture update. let you guys know what's going on with pop culture. First of all, we're going to start with the box office numbers from last weekend, like we always do. Twisters was a big hit this weekend, apparently. A lot of people went and saw it, including my man right below me that's going to give us a review here in a couple of minutes. But right now, we just want to look at the numbers. Made $81 million, which, we were talking a month ago, like, oh my God, are we, are we even going to have a $1 billion movie until Inside Out 2 came out and has been walloping it, and it's still in double digits. Wow, man, that's absolutely crazy.
So it's Despicable Me 2.
Yeah, Despicable Me 4 is doing well too. Didn't do as well as John predicted it would, but it's still doing great. Some of these other movies that have come out this year would love to have these kind of numbers, no doubt. Just ask Costner if he'd like to have those kind of numbers, man. Jeez. Then Long Legs is in there at number 4, double-digit horror movie, and another horror movie, actually a prequel. I guess it's sci-fi horror, kind of. A Quiet Place, Day 1, is still making money. It's
a good movie. I enjoyed it.
That's what I hear. Now, I got to tell you, though, I wouldn't know if it was good or not because I haven't seen any of the franchise yet. I have. It's just something Rhonda does not do is horror movies. I actually got one over on her the other night and got her to watch frickin' The Fury with Kirk Douglas.
Oh, okay.
From years ago. I found out it was on Max. I said, please let me watch this movie. It's not really a horror movie. And she kept saying somebody's head was going to explode. I kept saying, no, that's the wrong movie. You're thinking of the wrong movie. That's Scanners. This movie, nobody's head explodes. The last guy in it, John Cassavetes, everything but his head explodes, but his head did not explode.
my little niece, 10-year-old Graceland, she loves A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2.
Really?
And she saw him like a couple of years ago. So
really?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. There's one thing I forgot at the beginning of the show. The guy, I swear to God, he just does not want to be, he wants to be first every time. Today, he checked in at 3:13 today.
Wow.
You guys know who I'm talking about. You know his name.
There are some who call me Tim.
That's right. Tim got in here first at 3:13, but he is here. He just said hail to us. And he says, Sydney Sweeney stars in Titty Twisters. Yeah, of course you would. I don't think she's that kind of girl, though.
That's actually, they're doing a Monty Python Holy Grail magic set for Magic.
Get out of here.
Nope. And one of the first cards they released was Tim the Enchanter.
Tim the Enchanter, huh? I want Brave Sir Robin's card, man.
Yeah, I bet that's funny.
He's going to suck.
Yeah.
He's going to run away at the start of every battle, right?
Tap this at the start of the battle to return to your hand.
Right. That's too funny, man. Too funny. Okay, so as we saw, Twister made $81 million last weekend. It says 80.5 million, but I mean, does it really matter? But yeah, hang on a second. Knock is with us. He's on the road. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey there. Apparently I can't get to the certain spot until 7:30. So.
Oh, okay. So are you still out there at the venue you were at? Yeah,
I'm here. So there's a little it's because it's like a park. Yeah. So there's a little restaurant they have here where you can sit inside there before you go into the pavilion.
Uh-huh.
And the upper deck that I'm at for my ticket doesn't open until 7:30.
Yeah.
They're letting all the lawn people in right now.
Yep. Listen, did you send that to my phone? Is that where you sent that, the picture? I think you sent it to my phone. I think you texted it to us, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he texted it to us, I think. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I gotta send it by WhatsApp. This is what he's doing tonight, guys. Give me a second to load it up, and I'll be able to show you what it is here. He is going to. which one is it? It's a Harry Potter movie. Which one are you going to see now?
Number 7, part 1.
Number 7, part 1.
Yeah.
The Deathly Hallows, isn't that the name of it?
Yes.
I think. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you showed me this the first time, I was like, man, I've always wanted to do that with Star Wars. I've always wanted to do that. Hang on one second. Let me grab it and pull it over to where I'm sharing stuff at. Oh no, I've got it right here.
You just had it over there.
I'm an idiot. Okay, there you go. What it is it's an outdoor venue, obviously, and they're going to have an orchestra playing the music from the movie while they're showing it, and that seems really fucking cool to me, man.
Yeah, this particular place has a roof over the front end, which I'll be under, and then there's a lawn kind of sticking out the back. So it's a little different than that particular picture, but same concept.
Yeah, I got you. And it looks like this was taken for when they did Prisoner of Azkaban. It looks like so. Yeah, that's extremely cool, dude. I'm sure you're gonna have a great time tonight. Let's see. Summit's in here saying hi. He says, "Will Deadpool and Wolverine also come in what? What is he saying there? I can't pronounce that."
Buongiorno. That's pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay, I'm not sure what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but it's good to see you, Summit. But anyway, yeah, man, you should have a blast at that thing, dude. Like I said, I've always wanted to see Star Wars that way. I've heard of orchestras playing John Williams music during Star Wars movies before,
It harkens back to the old silent films.
Right. Yeah. The silent films had an orchestra pit and they're actually down where people couldn't see them, yeah, that's, I just think it's cool as hell, man. You should have a ball doing that tonight. He's got a full slate of things this week, guys. He's going to see Creed this weekend too. And Deadpool on top of that. But we'll get to Deadpool here soon enough.
And NCAA came out this week?
Yeah. I just don't get hyped about that as hyped as you guys do about video games anymore because I don't have the time to play them. I just don't, man. I've got too much other stuff to do. That's why I do the video game shows, just so I can keep my hands in it. You know what I mean? But Twisters whips up $80.5 million at box office, while Deadpool and Wolverine looms. Yeah, it's a good thing it made that much money because I don't think anybody's going to be going to see it this weekend. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's see. Tim says, but Bhojpuri is a language in India. Oh, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know if they'll have. I'm sure they're going to have foreign language versions of it. I'm sure, but
there's
most of the time when they put them out, though, they put them out with subtitles, don't they? They just do subtitles these days, right? I mean, everything I've seen on the Sailing the High Seas sites, they're always in English and they've got the Chinese subtitles or something. You know what I mean? So,
well, I've seen a lot in like, and of course, Hindi and was it Tamad? I'm sorry, I'm butchering the languages. I'm a stupid American, so
right, of course. Let's see. Knock, we can hear what is going on in the background. Yes, of course we can. That's why
there's a lot of people here. Yeah, pretty much.
That's why he's muting himself, brother.
I can't fix that. I can't mute them.
No, he can't tell everybody else to shut up. That's for sure. But anyway, I'm hearing nothing but good things about this. John, you said you went and saw it.
Yep.
Tell us about this flick, man.
Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, it has a lot of feel. If you like the first movie, you'll love the second. It's got a lot of the same beats, but they're not. They're different. Same beats, but done differently.
The same but different. Got it.
Same but different.
Yeah. Like, the
is that like mostly peaceful protesting?
It's a similar difference.
Well, the tornado does catch on fire at one point, so
yeah. Well, that's no secret.
Yeah, you see that in trailer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's just There's there's a slight there's a twist in it, but you can kind of see it coming because
No.
Say it
Yeah.
ain't so.
yeah.
Not in a
But-
movie called Twisters. No.
Yep. Yeah,
Say it ain't so.
but special effects.
It would be a twister if it didn't have a twist.
The tornadoes look real, and
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of tornadoes in my life. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know,
That's
living
cool,
in,
man.
living in Tornado Alley,
Well, they're saying that Mr. Powell is making all the right choices as far as his career arc is concerned.
Yeah,
And this one apparently, from what I understand, they don't make him the stupid sidekick, which is what
No.
a lot of these movies do these days. They make the guy the ignorant one, right? And all that stuff. And
No, he's actually the guy that kind of steps up and
yeah,
saves the day.
right. Yeah.
And I feel like when he did a movie with City Sweeney, he already won. So,
Right.
Yeah.
He won.
he's
Yeah.
doing good.
He won all the realness, But I look, he was a standout in Top Gun Maverick, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He was the new Iceman, basically. You know what I mean? The arrogant guy that knew everything and knew how to do everything, and yeah. So yeah,
The only knock I have on the movie
mm-hmm.
is
You call me?
yeah, I figured that was. Yeah, as I said knock, I'm like, well, maybe I should use a different word. But is the fact that they didn't use Helen Hunt as her mom.
Really.
Yeah.
This is the daughter of Helen Hunt's character.
No, it's not the daughter of Helen Hunt. They should have made it the daughter of Helen Hunt and brought Helen Hunt in, but they didn't.
Okay.
Instead, it's the nurse from ER playing her mom.
Okay.
So
the nurse from ER.
Yeah, the nurse from the ER show. That's
I wouldn't know.
show. I don't remember the actress's name. Allie recognized her immediately.
My wife would probably know it at the drop of a hat, man, because she loved that show. She's all about ER. That was the first one that I had to watch at length. Go ahead.
It's they don't treat the male lead as an idiot. They don't. He comes off immediately. You're like, oh, he's just some hotshot redneck. Nope. He's like a scientist and stuff. He just does it for
the chicks.
Well, no, it's just he does it for the thrill.
He's an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah, I've been hearing nothing but good things about it. I guess I'm gonna have to go see it eventually. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but if I have the time, I'll definitely do it. But
and it does have a good ending instead of a downer ending. So
really, okay, very cool, man. Very cool.
The twister finds a girlfriend and all that stuff, and then happily ever after.
They settle down, race a few little.
Don't tell me Sharknado comes in at the end. What's up?
Well, that's the
it's a team up. It's the disaster verse.
That's the post credit scene, And it's not Sharknado; it's Cocaine Sharknado.
Cocaine Sharknado. Look out on steroids.
You heard about the cocaine sharks, right?
Oh no, I did not. No.
I'll pull that up.
Basically the same as the cocaine bear, but with sharks.
Yeah, right.
Except
they
this is life.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, well, thanks for that review, man. You're pretty much agreeing with most of the guys that I've listened to. They said that the movie wasn't woke. They said that probably. They said the box office probably helped by the fact that the director came out and said, I don't think these movies need to be political, talking about, if there wasn't climate change in it and stuff.
Yeah.
He came out and said, I don't think you need to have messages in movies. You just need to make a good movie.
The closest they get to saying anything about climate change is they just say that, there's an increase in the amount of storms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's not talking about climate change. That's just a fact, So yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Let's see. Tim says that shark must have gotten into Hunter's stuff. Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
Hunter's bulletproof, man. Shoot. But anyway, well, thanks for the review, man. I'm glad to hear that one did well because I really like Glenn Powell. I hope his star keeps rising because he's a good young actor and I enjoy him. Speaking of good young actors, there's another one. This blew me away when I saw the still shot of it. Timothee Chalamet is in a new movie. It says a complete unknown trailer. Timothee Chalamet transforms into Bob Dylan and sings "A Hard Rain's a Gonna Fall." I was going to show this trailer.
Bob Dylan.
I'm surprised you're not using your voice changer with Dylan on it, man.
I don't have a Bob Dylan. I don't have a Bob Dylan voice thing, so I'd have to
You
actually
can't
make
download it? Well, come on, man.
I'd have to make it.
You got one job, John.
You got one job, John. Come on, man. But anyway, yeah, he looks like him, and I saw the trailer. Guys, I would show you the trailer, but the music, and it's actually I did some investigating, and it's actually him doing the talking. The director says that's his voice when asked about it.
The singing,
the singing voice in it is his, and that sounds just like Dylan, man. He did. Of course, Charlemagne's one of the better young actors out there, and this is coming around.
They're talking about Dylan,
right? It's coming out in December, which is Academy Award season, so I would imagine a bunch of buzz is going to be going around about this one when it comes out, unless it's a total tanker of a movie. But apparently it covers his beginnings in New York City and goes all the way to 65 when he goes electric, when he plugs in the electric guitar and pisses everybody off at that festival. Yeah, I'll be interested to see that. Knock was saying earlier how Hollywood is really starting to really knock these biopics out of the park. Maybe John knows the name of the singer. There was a girl singer that they made one about recently. John,
the jazz chick, red lipstick, black hair, Winehouse. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Amy Winehouse. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, I've never seen.
I knew the name. I couldn't think of that when we were talking about it earlier.
Either. I knew exactly who he was talking about. Go ahead.
They're releasing it about the same time as they released the Elton John movie and the Queen movie. So
So I think my favorite so far has been I don't know what the title is. Is it Freddie or Mercury or whatever the title of it is? But
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. Yeah. It was really good. The Rami Malek won an Academy Award for that part.
He deserved it.
Yeah, that was insanely good.
It was really, really good.
Because I grew up in that era, and that's like, that was Freddie Mercury.
I liked Rocket Man. I thought that's another good young actor. The guy from the
Edgerton.
Edgerton. He's from the what's it called? Kingsman series.
Yeah,
he's in those movies, and we got a good young crop of actors if they just get some good material to put them in, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, shoot. But
we need another Fast and Furious. That's what we need.
Is that what we need? Another Fast and Furious?
Number 11, I think so.
I don't know. I was never into that series. I love the first movie, and Tokyo Drift.
At this point, I'm just invested on who dies and who comes back.
Yeah. That's at this point, it's just a superhero thing. They're just superheroes.
Yeah, I'll check it out from time to time. The wildest thing I've seen in those movies, though, is when they were dragging that fucking safe around town. That was fucking crazy.
That's Shane. Yeah.
But then again, like I said, I'm not a fan of the series, guys.
They've gone to space now.
Joe, think of Die Hard, right? How each one got more and more crazy, and they ended up with a helicopter. So Die Hard stopped, right? Fast and Furious kept going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're getting 10 part 2 and 10 part 3.
And they keep putting different people in it. Like I've seen Ronda Rousey's in there, and all kinds of pop culture people end up in it. I guess
Toronto was in there too.
Yep.
Was she? Yeah. No kidding, man. It's just that's one that I dug the first movie, and I saw the second one with Paul Walker in. How many of them was Paul Walker in? He was only in 2 of them, right?
No, he was 7. 7 of them, I think.
Was it 7
really?
or 6?
I think he was partly in 7, and then his brothers finished it.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he was mostly done with it, but then they finished a couple of parts or scenes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I guess I'll have to
continue
visit
diving.
those one day. I mean, I like action movies and stuff. It's just when I saw a submarine in one of them, I was like, "What in the fuck, man? Come on! What are you putting an icebreaker
Yeah, they get way too ridiculous. Like, you just go back to street racing.
in?" Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom, one of her favorite movies was Tokyo Drift.
Really?
Yeah, she had Tokyo Drift. She watched it all the time.
Don't forget Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, yeah, spinoff.
Yeah.
It's got a spinoff. Yep. Friggin' Tokyo Drift is kind of like the season of the witch of that series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the
It has
other
nothing
until
to do
they
with the other one, and
they retconned
Well,
everything.
they drag it in later. They definitely retcon it.
Oh, did they? Okay, cool. All right. So, next up in our stories here, this one's from Forbes. Costner's Horizon gets a digital streaming release. Guys, this hasn't been out very long. It's been like what, 3 weeks? Has it even been a month yet? And it's already on Netflix, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out now that it's there. But hopefully he can keep going with it. I've been keeping an eye on this because they backed up the August release for the second part to get more people to see the first part of it. And I guess this is part of their plan. He was about to file bankruptcy, but apparently Netflix has bailed him out. He got it on there. So yeah, good for you, Costner. I mean,
Did he
look,
sell
man,
both movies?
huh?
Did he sell
I
both
don't know
movies?
if it's both. I don't know if it's both. This is just talking about the first one. So far, the plan still is to, let's see, back up the August timeline. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't even know if he's going to be able to make 3 and 4 unless I don't know how he's going to finance it, man. I don't know. I'm saying a prayer for my man Costner. I am a big fan, huge fan.
According to iPhone, you just need an iPhone. Or according to Apple, you just need an iPhone to film, right? What do you need?
Yeah.
Right? Why didn't he just shoot it with an iPhone and really cut down the cost? Shit. Speaking of Apple, John sends us this one. Says Apple TV will reduce spending as Severance season 2 reportedly costs $20 million an episode.
Yep.
They need to. They need to. I mean, these costs of these shows are getting way too much. They're not sustainable. I'd rather have 20 episodes with a much smaller budget than 6 episodes with 20 million.
Yeah. I mean, I could understand it for a show like For All Mankind. I could see that where it's got some special effects in it and stuff. But is Severance one that's got a lot of special effects in it? So why is it?
I don't know about that, but even for All Mankind, there's a lot of time that's spent in like a really small confined space. When you have a lot of scenes like that doesn't cost very much. You're just paying the actors at that point.
Yeah. Well, we just talked about what was it last week? Even I think that Knock was pointing out that they really aren't planning on making money on these things. They're just trying to get it out there to get people to get the streaming service. Talking about the movies, that is.
Yeah, that was for like the Flower, the whatever Moon, and the one that recently came out. Mm-hmm. That didn't do that well on the box, but it wasn't really meant to. It was just hype.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyway, that's interesting. I mean, look, we know that Hollywood's going through a belt tightening period. A lot of people have lost their jobs in Hollywood. I know my daughter's looking for other work now, and actually, she hasn't stopped working in the industry. She's just not taking bullshit jobs anymore. She's going to take stuff that they know she's good at. Which is the art side of things and stuff like that. So she's still dabbling in it, but she's looking for, other things too. Because there's a constriction going on. There's a belt tightening going on in that industry, and it needs to be. I mean, when you've got movies like fucking Godzilla -1 with a fucking $10 million budget that make hundreds of millions of dollars globally, I mean, you're looking retarded spending this much money. You are big time. And one of the biggest retards in the business. Go ahead.
Well, it's all a lot of it's the union pay that they're forced to pay.
Yeah.
They got to pay scale. Well, It's like, yeah, but those costs are ridiculously inflated when everybody's getting, even the lowest script gets like 40 or $50 an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of, come on. I mean,
mm-hmm.
that's
no wonder we're leaning on AI more than ever, right?
Yep. Yep. But yeah, so I mean, it's plus, actors demand ridiculous amounts for their work.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few actors that get a lot of money that aren't really worth that much.
Aren't
money.
really worth it. Yes, you're absolutely right. Some of them are worth it.
Yeah.
A Ryan Reynolds, a Hugh Jackman, these guys are worth the money that you spend on them. But some of them are not, man. They really are. I mean, I don't think Glenn Powell's commanding that much money now.
No. He might
one day if he continues this trajectory, and more power to him if that happens. But we'll see what happens. One of the biggest retards walking around. I know I shouldn't use that word, but I just have to when I talk about these dudes. Disneyland workers reached tentative contract agreement, averting immediate strike threat. About 14,000 workers, including the ride operators and candy makers, had voted to authorize a strike if an agreement could not be reached. So apparently Disney has dodged another bullet with a group of people they don't want to pay. We've heard all the horror stories about Disney and what they're doing with their CGI artists and different people. They don't want to pay them. It happens over and over again. I mean, all the way back to Scarlett Johansson had to sue him to get her money out of Black Widow.
I think it's more of a fact that
that was extenuating circumstances.
Yeah. No. I think it's more of a fact that is it that they don't want to pay them or they can't pay them because they don't have free
That's
cash?
what it's starting to, they're starting to, if I don't follow the finances like Midnight's Edge does or WDW Pro or anything like that, but according to them, they're losing money left and right, and they're running out of money. So
Ike Perlmutter sold all $3 billion.
Yes, saw that story. That
he completely divested himself of Disney completely, and it's like, okay, that's how you know the ship's going down.
Yeah, somebody like that's been with him forever. He's been with them forever, and he dumped it. Things are looking bad out there, but good for those folks. They get to fight another day. Okay, guys. Knock mentioned it earlier. EA Sports College Football is here. 25's $100 version paid off for EA with 2.2 million early access players. Now, if you don't know what this is talking about, the game itself costs $70, but you could pay an extra $30 to play it 3 days earlier.
Well, along with some little goodies, but not worth it.
Right. You got some extra stuff too, but I mean, that's insane. But hey, they cashed in on this because they have not, made one of these games in a decade, and they knew people were hungry for a college football game, and they milked it for all they could get. That's for sure. Yeah. But Knock found a way around it. Tell them what you did, Knock.
Oh yeah, they also offered for the EA Play. You could do a 10-hour trial run for $6. So for me, that was perfect. I didn't play Monday night, but I had Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. I didn't play much Wednesday because I was here, right? So 10 hours was perfect amount of time for me for just $6. That's not bad. I've spent money on worse for sure.
Right.
So to get to play it a little early, then I picked it up on Friday. And for me, I didn't even have to, a little added bonus for me, I didn't have to download anything because I had the trial version. It carried right over as soon as I put the disc in.
Right. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's very cool. My favorite thing about these games is customization. And I've already created the Bossier Parish Community College Cavaliers. Here's my problem, though. I wanted to put them in a high school stadium, right?
Yeah. They don't let you.
And they they don't have the generic stadiums anymore. You have to pick an existing stadium. So I got them playing in Ruston at LA Tech Stadium, right?
Yeah.
And I also created the pilots. Let me see. I'm not going to pull it. No.
I definitely feel like that's something that's going to get expanded upon. For there's definitely a lot there for the first year. My thing was the only reason I want to create a team is because I want to start with 0 stars. Exactly with 0 stars, where even the lowest team has 1 star, and they're at least over 70 overall, which is really not bad. So I want like 50, 60 overall, 0 star, start from complete bot. Basically, just came out of FCF.
Yeah, it's going to take you a minute to set that up, Knock, too, I can tell you, because when you generically make a roster, you're automatically like an 88 overall.
Yeah. So I know it's going to be something I'm going to do like on a weekend where I have plenty of time to build it up.
Have to do some serious manipulation.
So.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You have a choice of the randomly generated one, or you can take the roster of the team you're replacing whenever you replace that team. It's like the old game. You have to replace a program with the custom team. So I've been playing in Conference USA, and I've been getting rid of the New Mexico Aggies because I think there's enough Aggie teams out there. So, that's who I got rid of. And I replaced, but I used the 88 overall team.
You didn't pick the Tigers? I think we need more Tigers.
Yeah, right. But I did create, like I said, the Bossier Parish Cavaliers, which is a real school. I graduated from there with an associate's degree back 12 years ago. And then the first school I went to straight out of the Army was LSU Shreveport, LSUS, and their mascot is the pilots. They mean pilots of a ship. It's got a ship steering wheel.
Yeah, river pilots.
The logo and stuff. Yeah. So, I'm enjoying it. I know Knox digging it for sure. And my God, I'm worried about this dynasty thing now because he's figured out the recruiting part of it. So we're all fine. He's going to have fucking nothing but guys with 99 speed. We're all
I found a 3-star wide receiver. He was like one of the last ones on my board for the season. And he turned out to be a gem. I barely put anything into him. He turned out to be a gem with 99 speed. Like, you can find some ridiculous guys. It's mostly luck because there's still, that's the cool thing about this compared to Madden, is there's so many prospects that you can go for, and you never know what you're going to find.
Yep. Go ahead, John.
I put it in the PS5.
Yeah.
We're getting there. Good job, John. We're getting there. Did you download the update?
All right. Well, we got that to look forward to. You'll be seeing us playing that on my video game show here soon enough. Trust me. Of course, I'll have to, for these two working guys, I'll have to move it before 10 o'clock sometime, though, for them to be on it. We'll have to set that up.
Well, the funny thing is, for our dynasty modes, unless we're in the same conferences, we're hardly ever going to see each other to the playoffs.
Right. And we'll just have to do, you know, it won't be a weekly thing. It'll just be when we get to the playoffs and we end up playing each other, then we'll go ahead and do it. I'm looking forward to it, though. It should be fun. Anyway, we got that going, and oh my God,
Looking forward to not trouncing me the whole time. So,
oh, dude, look,
hey, you're 4 points on me. I'm terrible on defense.
When we start this, you've got to get him early, like in the first and second season, because once he builds a program, we're fucked. He'll have nothing but fast dudes all over the fucking place. It would be like trying to catch chickens. It's ridiculous, man.
I'm going to watch what you guys are going for, and I'll steal them.
All right. I'm gonna do a little meme section here because some of this stuff is just killing me. Look, ever since the Democratic Party decided to throw Kamala Harris out there, every time I turn on YouTube, there's an ad for her, and she's on there trying to get money for the coming election. And I saw this meme earlier today and about fell out laughing, man. A friend of mine put it up. Shout out to Don Arby, my good friend from Libby Glass. Gotham has a new villain, the Giggler. And friggin' Knox said
I saw that
we
one.
should call her the
I
cackler.
thought that was good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Another one
I said on X,
today.
she cackles like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, no shit, right? And then earlier today, J-Lo put this up. She said, "This is me now on birthday," and she's 55 years old today, right? What I thought was interesting. Yeah, right. I wish I looked like that at 55.
Jenny from the block.
Right, but these comments, man, you know, she's got her fans, right? You just don't age. Then you got other people that are like, you know, looking lost in life. I don't understand that. That's a hater, if you ask me. Work on your marriage, boo. I mean, some of these comments, man, I'm like, what the hell? But shout out to J-Lo. She turned 55 today. I just don't want to see her in movies anymore. Go back to singing.
She's a year older than I am. That's it.
Yeah. You know, some people, well, when you got that kind of money, you can afford the kind of things that keep you looking like that. The personal trainer and all that other shit, right? Yeah.
Plus it helps.
The fridges that they walk into, like the athletes have, those ice fridges or whatever.
Yeah.
That completely encapsulate their body.
Right. That kind of thing. All right. Well, since we saw one hot chick, it's time to talk about the hot chick. And you guys know what I'm talking about.
How do you want me to handle the Sydney issue?
The Sydney issue?
Well, we should have a consensus on how the White House is going to handle it.
Well, I certainly hope the Sydney issue refers in some way to a problem that we're having with Australia, because if it's anything other than that,
Mr. President, Ms. Sweeney, see you.
Have her come in, please. I am finished here.
Yes, sir.
There is no Sydney issue.
Yes, the Sydney watch continues. And we find out this week that Sydney Sweeney's Verizon phone number was hijacked the same day that her Twitter account promoted crypto. Apparently, they got her phone too. And the says here that the cell phone was hacked and scammers posted photo proof. Now, they don't show any of the pictures because apparently it's not pleasant ones, but well, probably pleasant, but they're of a private nature. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Nothing new on the Instagram watch, but this is interesting. They're already priming us for her part as Barbarella, because apparently we've got a comic book that's going to be made. Barbarella returns in new series ahead of Sydney Sweeney's big screen reboot. When they said series, I was like, they're going to do a TV series before they make the movie? That sounds kind of weird, but no, this has to do with the new Barbarella comic series from Dynamite Entertainment. Promises to be one of the best yet, picking up on her latest comic adventures. Sydney Sweeney's Barbarella could potentially outdo Jane Fonda's iconic portrayal of the character. With a commitment to honoring Barbarella's history, Dynamite Entertainment aims to please fans of sci-fi adventure. So we got that to look forward to. I'll have to tell my comic book guys at Excalibur to keep an eye out on that for me. So
did I miss the picture from the screenshot when I went to the restroom?
The picture from the screenshot
from your from the thumbnail for the show?
No, I don't always show those.
Oh, okay.
What would you like me to show it? I guess I could upload it real quick, but
you don't worry about it. I'm just, my opinion, that's hotter than her in the swimsuit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a great picture. Hang on, I'll do it real quick. I've got it on my fingertips. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to her doing Barbarella. I'd love to see her in a space opera, man. That would be cool as shit.
I like the Barbarella movie. I just don't like the actress that's in it.
I know. And you know, it becomes hard to separate the art from the artist whenever, you know, they do something that heinous. You know what I mean? It's just,
Illinois
it
Jane.
really is. And you know what? She just got crazier as she got older. I mean, wasn't that long ago she was on The View talking about doing exactly what somebody tried to do a couple weekends ago
Yep.
to a certain guy. I'm not going to say, you guys know what I'm talking about though. It's pretty damn silly, man, when you think about it. But yeah, let me I will send this to myself real quick. That I don't know where this photo shoot came from, but my gosh, they are some good pictures. And it could be for anything. It could be an ad for something. There's no telling. I'd have to do some research into it, but let me pull this up real fast. Bear with me, guys. What he's talking about is the picture I used on a thumbnail this time around. This is it right here. That one is pretty good. Like that one. It could be anything that she's promoting there, though. It's definitely a professional photo shoot. And then this one I didn't use, but I love that one. That's my favorite one out of that shoot right there, especially because it's got a Leo the Lion right there. Because I'm a Leo. Yeah, there you go. She's hanging out with me. You know, hanging out with the Leos. What's up? But yeah, Sweeney, we're big fans. You'll always get a Sweeney report from us.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing going on Instagram. Her last pictures from Instagram came out when she was over in Greece. So we showed that last week. So, but that's it for the pop culture update, guys. Is there anything else I missed that you can think of? Anything else? No. Okay. Knock, is that place filling up? Are you about ready to get out of here? What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm about to head out in a few minutes to go head inside.
Okay. Did you want to talk about House of the Dragon before you get out of here?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, boys and girls, it is time for our review of House of the Dragon. And I'm going to put up this to market. If you don't want to hear spoilers for this week's episode of House of the Dragon, when I show this thumbnail again, when the Mojo Dojo Casa House comes back up, you will be free and clear to navigate. Okay. But we're now gonna give spoilers for this week's episode of House of the Dragon. So we'll see in a second if you haven't seen it yet. Okay. So this episode, is it Raina? Is that her name? Our blonde girl over here, is that her name? Yeah,
it's Raina.
Yeah,
but she is doing several.
Rhaenyra, right?
Okay.
Something like that. They have different pronunciation.
Okay. She is trying on several fronts with this new advisor she has, the girl from the city. She's first of all, she's looking for dragon riders. And also there's some covert stuff going on, like feeding the people of the city. They said that they don't have enough food for everybody in the city. So, you know, the poorer people aren't getting fed. And Rhaenyra starts sending them food, you know, and they're picking it up on boats, you know, and it's really starting to cause the people to want to uprise against the royal family. I mean, they were chasing the Queen Mother through the streets at one point in this episode. So you've got you remember she said a war can be fought on several fronts. There's several ways to fight a war, and she's showing her that. And as that part of the story went on, you know, they got closer and closer, and all of a sudden they started kissing. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they're going to start, you know, having a love affair or anything.
Apparently that wasn't planned. They just did it, and then they kept it in.
Yeah. Well, wow. I mean, I didn't see that coming at all. And, you know, I'm not bothered by it at all. It's just, I thought she swung the other way. You know what I mean? But anyway, the part that was intriguing to me was the part about the dragon riders. They're trying to get these dragon riders. They're trying to find people that are related to them because they know that they've got to be a Targaryen, right? And the one guy from the council that they tried to get to do it, he got close, but that dragon wasn't having none of it, and he nuked his ass. And
I don't think he was on the council. He was just one of the guards.
yeah, well, anyway, the guy they tried to turn into a dragon rider got nuked. It wasn't buying it. But that same dragon later on, what is the son of the sea guys? The guy that's the hand now. What's the son's name?
Oh, I don't remember the son's name. Oh, what is it?
He's getting chased by a dragon, and he keeps trying to get away from it. The dragon finally has him cornered, and he's just looking at him, and he gets very submissive. And it looks like this is going to be a guy. Actually, no, wasn't he riding it by the end of the episode? Knock. Didn't they sight that dragon, and that's why she left to go find it, right?
Yeah, they like literally right after that episode came out, they posted a trailer about it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we already know who it is.
So, yeah, it's the son of this this. I call him the Sea King. I can't keep track of. Yeah, Sea Snake. There you go.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of the names on this show. I really can't. Damon's the only one I remember. It's the only one, and that's coming to a head over there too. I mean, he's still getting his head messed with, and I don't understand why he can't see it's this witch. I mean, all of us could see it. Why can't he see it, Knock? What's the deal with that?
I don't know. He's not really in the best state of mind. He just think clearly. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was a good episode. But we only got 2 episodes left, so we'll see what happens. But I got to head in, guys. So I will see you later.
Take it easy, Knock. And thanks a lot, bro.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the comments before it starts. But
okay,
yeah,
bud.
see you guys.
All right, we'll see you. Take it easy. But yeah, whenever you get the chance to watch it, it's good, but it's definitely a filler, leading up to I think, what do you say? We got 2 episodes left in this season. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, man. Oh, I forgot to mention while he was here, though, the king wakes up, okay, from his coma-like thing, and he is immediately being questioned by the guy I call Eye Patch McCain.
Yeah.
I can't remember that dude's name. It's Egan,
something like that. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but anyway, he's already. First thing he asks him is, "What do you remember?" And he said nothing. And he hands him, the ball that they use at the council.
Yeah.
He hands him back his ball, right? In other words, he's like, "Yeah, you can have your job back as long as you don't see nothing." You know what I mean? You can tell he's scared of his brother. You can tell he's scared of him. So he knows what happened to him, right? Yeah. He knows his brother tried to kill him. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, one of the guards lost his life when the people went after the Queen Mother there, man, at the end of the episode. It was there's definitely some shit going on, man. They're building to something big at the end of the season. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's it's fine. I don't think it's as good as Game of Thrones, though. I don't think it's good as its predecessor at all.
No, I don't think it is either.
But
they got less material to work with too. So
yeah,
they're
right.
working off a single book,
right? And this, I mean, it is what it is. Not every show can be fantastic, but it doesn't suck. It's just that's a high benchmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see look better.
I don't see. Yeah, the dragons look dynamite, man. Especially some of these still shots they've gotten from this show, especially with the dragon behind her. Oh my God, that looks vicious, doesn't it? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, that's it for our review of House of the Dragon for this week. So, boys and girls, the Mojo Dojo Casa House is safe to return to. So, you guys come on back.
And the fourth is the last episode is the 4th of August. So that's
4th of August.
That's a week from Sunday.
Yep. So we got this Sunday, next Sunday. Yeah, that's right. That's just what Knox said. Yep. Okay. So next we want to talk about Let's see. Make sure I got everything here.
You know, it started today, don't you?
No.
Time Bandits. That freaking
The Apple.
the
show?
Apple that they just completely took Time Bandits and went, you know what? We're just going to take everything cool about Time Bandits, just
and just huck it through the window and do our
And-
own thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
well, I mean, there's a reason why I don't know it started today.
Yeah,
When I saw the trailer, I kind of wrote it off.
The only reason I know is because I opened up my TV calendar to see when the last episode of Game of Thrones was, or Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon was. And,
yeah, and it says new. Boom.
It's showing up today. And I'm like, oh, that's today.
Yikes. I'm just... Look, guys, go watch Time Bandits.
Yeah,
Go watch that. Go watch the Terry Gilliam classic, okay? Go watch that. David Warner plays the devil in it. I mean, come on. You can't get any better than that. Come on. Come on. You got to go watch it. It's great.
It's got
It is
an all-star cast.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let's see. Wow, Joe isn't thinking about breaking his controller today. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You must not have watched the second game, man. I destroyed it the second game. I wasn't running the ball effectively in that first game. Did I tell you this, John? I lost the first game I played last night. Oh, yeah. I lost it because I missed 3 field goals. I lost it by 6 points.
Yeah, I heard the field goal is difficult to do.
Well, I mean, the hash marks are wider, and I just don't have a feel for how far over. 2 field goals I missed inside the 5, dude, because you had to hit it at such a wicked angle.
Yeah.
That and it's a different way of kicking. The meter goes back and forth, and you press it down when you get in the middle, but you don't let off of it, because pressing it down, the power meter goes up through the angle arrow. It fills up, right?
Oh, okay.
That's how it works, and you let go when it reaches the power you want. And I was close enough to where I didn't need any power, but I couldn't get the angle right, and it was just it was horrible. But yeah, I missed 2 inside of there, and then I missed one because I screwed it up because I was drinking. You know how I do on those games. So yeah. You know that. Look, if I didn't drink, it wouldn't be fun to watch. You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't be bitching. First of all, to his point, I was fuming. I was so mad, man. I mean, I had a tight end open in the middle of the field, and he dropped the ball with nobody near him. And I was so upset, man. I was like, dude, you could have saved our ass. What are you doing? You know, I was losing my mind. But that second game, I was using the LSU Pilots, and I can't even remember who the opponent was. Yeah, I was on the road, and I was playing the Fresno State Bulldogs, and I was kicking their ass right in front of their home crowd, man. I don't think they scored a point until I got up 24-0. And it was when I was simming, you know, when I wasn't playing defense, right? So, yeah, it was pretty bad. That's what he's talking about right there. I think everybody thought I was going to throw my controller last night. But anyway, yeah, boys and girls, guess what? They're predicting that Deadpool is going to make $360 million globally on opening weekend.
Oh, it's going to make all the money.
Yeah, it is going to make all the money. Restoring Marvel Cinematic Universe glory. Box office preview. Well, I got to tell you now from the reviews, and this is not spoiler stuff, okay, guys. From the reviews I've seen, from guys that I trust that aren't going to tell you spoilers or anything like that. There's only 2 of them out there that I actually trust not to spoil shit. Chris Gore's one of them, and the other one, he's a new guy I've been watching. I can't even remember the guy's name, but I started following him just recently. But he did a nice spoiler review on it. Apparently, us comic book fans need to go see this, and they're saying that we may need to go see it more than once to catch everything that's in it, because apparently Ryan Reynolds is not disappointing with this movie. He's actually thinking about the comic book fans, the Fox X-Men fans, the fans of the MCU, all of it. The only gripe I've heard about it is they may have tried to put too much in this movie, because they said it's well balanced, but it's not going to be. it's only a Band-Aid for the MCU. It's not going to heal it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to
It's going
cure
to take
it.
more than just one movie to fix the
right.
MCU.
Exactly.
It's going to take Kevin Feige stepping down, I think, to fix the MCU,
Right.
or Kevin Feige thinking, listening to other people besides whoever he's listening to in the DEI office.
Let's see. Wookie says, I'll be watching it tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'm sure not. I'm sure I'm not going to Captain America. Yeah, well, Captain America, that's a different deal, man. That's a different deal.
Just because
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go see Captain America because I like the subject matter, but I do have questions. Of course, we watched wasn't it last week we watched the trailer for it, and I'm sitting there going, okay, Tony Stark's dead. He's not making that fucking super suit for that dude, and he's flying through planes. He's a normal human being. What the fuck are we doing? That's what I was thinking. I was like, what in the hell, man?
I'm a big Captain America fan, so I'll go see it just because.
Yeah, me too. I want to see it. And I know people do a lot of bitching about the message and all this stuff, but this is comic book accurate. The Falcon did become Captain America at one time. Now it's out of order. I mean, Bucky was the first one to take up the mantle when he retired the first time, but it's out of place. But I mean, the MCU, I've always said, as long as the MCU uses the comics as an outline and at least tries to stick to the outline, which is what they did with the first 3 phases, I'm not going to be mad at them. I mean, anybody that's a huge Ant-Man fan was probably pissed when Tony Stark was the leader of the Avengers, right? Because we all know that Hank Pym is the guy that started the Avengers, and he made all their tech and all that stuff,
And he made Ultron.
But let's see. That would have completed Bucky's arc. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I would have loved to have seen Bucky as Captain America. I really would have.
Instead, they tied him to Black Panther.
Yeah, he's at the hip of Black Panther now. So,
I mean, they don't not anymore, but that's what they were doing. They were going for that, but with Chadwick Boseman's passing, well. God, now we've dipped our toes into those waters. You guys know how I feel about that one. They should have never recast. They should have recast that role. Give that to another young African-American actor and let him have his hand at it. I mean, that is one of the most iconic characters in Marvel Comics. I mean, I've always said there's 2 guys, if they can get ready for a battle, you don't want to face them. In DC, it's Batman. You don't want to have to deal with that dude. If he can get ready for you, you're fucked. And the other one is the Black Panther in Marvel Comics. He has all the friggin' resources, and he's got a brain. He will find a way to stop you. He's the king of a country.
Well, yes, he's the king.
Everybody's like everybody craps on Aquaman. I'm like, are you kidding? Aquaman's one of the most powerful people in the DC universe. And they're like, oh no, he's not. First of all, he has all his powers.
Yeah,
super strong and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He also has an army of people as strong as he is.
Hello. All the Atlanteans can do what he can do.
Yes.
Man. They can't survive so well on surface, though.
He's half, so he can last. Yeah, but they have tech that handles that.
Well, boys and girls, I figured what we would do. Now, I've let you know what they're saying about the movie, but what I figured we'd do is we revisit the movies that led us here. And I have a special connection to the first one. This first one, it's the first movie that Foxy and I went to together.
Oh, that's neat.
As a matter of fact, when we had our 20th anniversary a few years back, I actually got her her favorite color is emerald, and I got her an emerald ring that was encrusted with diamonds, and it's in the shape of a gold X. It's she saw it in the. I took her to a jewelry store that's owned by a friend of ours, and she saw it and immediately fell in love with it, but she didn't like the price tag. It was $3,000. And I told her, I said, Rhonda, first of all, I told our friend, I said, "What can you do? What kind of deal can you give me on this thing?" And it ended up being like 2,250, I think. But she still was like, I said, "Look, man, you do not celebrate 20th anniversary every day, do you?" She's like, "No." And I said, and the other thing is, this doesn't depreciate. It increases in value. I know plenty of people that put a lot of money into jewelry as an investment. So, yeah, I said, I told the guy, his name's Paul. I said, please explain this to her. Will you? It's not like a car. The minute she walks out of here, it's not going to depreciate. He said, nah, it'll go up in value.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about precious metals and jewels, right? So yeah, that was her 20th anniversary gift. She only wears it on special occasions. She doesn't take it out of the house very often.
Yeah, and I'm over here talking about getting a meteorite and dinosaur bone wedding band.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. That's got to cost some money, though.
Oh no, it's cheaper than you think.
Well, this first one in 2000, this is before the MCU, boys and girls. This is back when Marvel didn't have a studio. They were licensing they were selling the licensing for, let's see, Spider-Man went to Sony, and they still have it, as a matter of fact.
Hulk went to Universal.
The Hulk went to Universal, and the Fantastic Four and the X-Men went to Fox. And Fox started with X-Men in 2000. A good movie. I was very happy to see them make Cyclops the leader of the team, but we all know the guy that stole the show, and that was Hugh Jackman.
Right.
He stole the show from the second he got away from Jean Grey on the lab table. You know what I mean? He really did. Well, from the opening scene in the cage fight,
Yeah.
everybody was into it. A lot of people complained he was too tall, but after seeing it, couldn't imagine anybody else playing the part, man. He does a great job at it. He really does.
Actually, there is someone else now that, because of the spoiler I've seen.
Oh no, don't.
I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody.
Don't do it. But if it's Tom Cruise, that would be funny, because
it's not Tom Cruise.
But he'd be perfect, though.
Yeah, he's right.
He would be perfect. He'd be the perfect height, even though he's a flake. But anyway, it's going to be. I can't wait to see that movie. I can just imagine what Ryan Reynolds and fucking Hugh Jackman got in store for us.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But that first one, it was a good movie. A little slow at times, but they were just getting started in the superhero genre. Yeah. It was just great to see. Man, Ian McKellen is fucking Magneto. I mean, that's the opening scene of the first X-Men movie, where you find out why. I mean, could anything encapsulate what drives Magneto more than that opening scene at that concentration camp in friggin' World War II? Him having to be knocked out by one of the soldiers just so they be able to stop him, because he was gonna rip the place up. And it's pretty awesome, man. I thought it was a good movie, and of course, like I said, it holds a special place in my heart. We took the kids, we were dating at the time. We weren't even married yet, and we had a ball. It was fantastic, man. Loved that one. Of course, the next one was X-Men 2.
X-Men United.
X-Men United. This arguably may be the best X-Men movie ever made. It's now, this is as close in a PG version as we got to seeing Wolverine really lose it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There wasn't any blood, but you saw him waste some soldiers in it when they invaded the house. But I mean, the cast in that movie was fantastic. What's that guy's name that played okay, I'm having a total senior moment now. Let me put it up here on the screen, and we'll look at the cast. But the things I really liked about this one was Iceman, Bobby Drake. I loved him. And also the guy that played the Heavy in it was fantastic. What is his name? It's right on the tip. Brian Cox, but God
Yeah.
love him. Yeah, Brian Cox. He played William Stryker, and what a great movie this was. Arguably the best opening scene of any X-Men movie ever, because one of my favorite characters ever in the X-Men franchise was Nightcrawler, and they have the assassination attempt at the opening of that one, and it is just wow to see that on screen after reading all those comic books. Oh my God, so awesome.
That's one thing I can say about the whole Fox X-Men franchise. Whoever did their casting was excellent.
Yeah, they knocked it out
Patrick
of the park.
Stewart as Professor X,
right?
Ian McKellen as even Jave Marston as Cyclops.
A Cyclops, yes, absolutely. I thought he was great as Cyclops. I just thought, they didn't use him enough for me in the shows. I mean, this is the classic argument, right? This is the classic argument. Who's your favorite X-Men? There's a lot of people that are team Cyclops, and there's a lot of people that are team Wolverine, right?
Doug Locke.
Huh? Yeah.
Doug Locke.
I hear you, man. I hear you. But I'm a Cyclops guy. I love him. Look, they'd have never beat Sinister without him, dude. Never would have beat him. He was the only guy that could do it, man. It was pretty damn awesome. But we're talking comic book shit here now, and stuff they've teased in the movies. Oh, and they never did it in the movies, man. Hopefully, MCU, if you're listening, please put Mr. Sinister in. I want to see Inferno. All right. I want to see Madeline Pryor. I think that would be awesome. I really do. I want to see the Goblin Queen, man. Isn't she the clone of Jean Grey?
Yeah,
I think
she's the clone of Jean Grey.
Yep. I mean, there's so many great stories. I mean, that's one thing that pissed me off about one we're going to talk about later. Remember when they showed Genosha in the last one that the whole team was in? I was like, this is supposed to be good. Get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you? Because that storyline in the comic books is great.
Genosha was, that wasn't Genosha. I don't know.
No, that was that was not there. But anyway, let's see. That gets us to 2003. I got to check and see when Deadpool's first one came out real quick before we keep going here. Okay. I know that, hang on. I'm laughing because of something that's coming up. Okay. There's no way that movie really, it came out in 2016.
Yeah. It's only been a few years.
Wow. I'm shocked. That's amazing. Okay. Let me keep that tab going there. And then we had X-Men 3. And at the time, let me finish something on X-Men 2 before we get to X-Men 3. Okay. X-Men 2, the final scene of it, right before the credits, had me so hyped for the next one. I was just on cloud 9. My wife was like, "What's up?" I said, "They're about to tell one of the greatest fucking stories in comic book history, man." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "The Dark Phoenix saga." You saw that bird under the water, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be so great," And then
they dropped.
And then they shit the bed with The Last Stand. The Last Stand, which had introduced a couple of characters. You had Kitty Pryde, the Shadow Cat.
Yeah.
She showed up in the form of Elliot Page. Back then, she was Ellen Page.
Yeah.
I really thought she was great in that movie. Became a big fan, and she listed as Elliot Page now in the thing here. But this movie pissed me off right from the get-go. The other characters, of course, another great casting. Kelsey Grammer as the Beast. That was just off the chain. That was fantastic. And then you had
Angel.
Yeah. And that was played by, what's that young guy's name? Ben Foster.
Murphy.
Who
Michael Murphy was the father. Yeah.
What's that?
Michael Murphy was the father.
Yeah. Ben Foster played Angel, and that opening scene with him in it cutting his wings off, man, that was sad, But one thing I got to give them, they always kept the theme of the books in this, which is bigotry. Anti-bigotry is the theme of the book. And they did it without race. They did it. Everybody hates filthy mutants, right? And calls them names and stuff. But
that whole thing about him losing his wings and becoming depressed leads to him becoming the Horseman of War.
Right. Yeah. He becomes one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, which is a great story too. That's another one they muck up down the line, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But this right here, this is the first of 2 times they try and tell the Dark Phoenix saga. Okay.
And they fail both times. But what's funny is they failed worse the second time. This one actually is better than that. I didn't think I'd ever say, it's kind of like Star Wars. I didn't ever think I would say anything was worse than Attack of the Clones, right? Yeah, but no, there is worse than that, right? Then the sequel trilogy came out.
Right. But this one here, they killed Jean Grey in the end of it. They killed Professor X. I'm like, no, guys, come on. No, this is not, no. And the main problem with it is they make it something wrong with her mind, and Professor X has been trying to control her this whole time. And that's not what the Dark Phoenix saga is about, folks. No. That they portrayed it great. This is why I was so hyped at the end of X-Men 2, because you saw the flames of the Phoenix in her eyes when she was trying to hold off the water and everything.
Yeah,
it's a force from outside our galaxy that takes her over, and because she's so good, with her mental abilities, it picked up on it, and it actually cocoons her under the water. And that's how it went down in the books, guys. But it was totally not what they showed us in The Last Stand. But you still had Halle Berry in there and the rest of the crew. But the main thing, what pissed me off in this movie, they killed Cyclops in the first 15 minutes of the fucking movie. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. What are you doing? What are you thinking? But Wolverine in this movie is probably the only character that doesn't get tainted in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
He basically keeps going. And until Days of Future Past came out, it was the only sighting of a Sentinel, and all you saw was its head. You had the first time that the fastball move was done, right? Cyclops throwing Wolverine, which happens in the comic books all the time.
Yeah.
But he was tired of fucking around in the game room, right? When early in the movie, and he said, "Just throw me," and he cuts the thing's head off and throws it back at him. And that was the first time we saw a Sentinel. But anyway, The Last Stand, 2006. That was it for that trilogy. Which one came out next, man?
Next one
I think it was Origins Wolverine, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right.
I think Origins Wolverine's the next one. I'm trying to remember this by memory, guys. So if you think I'm wrong, please speak up in the chat. X-Men Origins. And this actually was the first sighting of the Merc with a mouth. Albeit in the wrong way. Wolverine Origins. Now, this movie, a lot of people don't like it. I like this movie. Okay. I know it's not comic book accurate at all, but the things I like about it are you gotta admit the opening scene with him and Sabretooth fighting through all those wars is really fucking cool. I love that. I thought that was great. And I like the love story with the girl who is played by a gorgeous female in Lynn Collins. I love her to death. I'll watch anything that chick does. But Ryan Reynolds makes his first appearance as Wade Wilson, the Merc with a mouth. And he and Wolverine and Sabretooth are all working for Stryker in this movie, played by Danny Huston. And
for the Weapon X program.
I want to say it's after the Vietnam War. because that's where they get found by him, is in the Vietnam War, right?
Yeah.
So it's early 70s, I think. But yeah, there's that opening scene with them fighting in all those wars, man. It's just awesome. I loved it. But that scene where Slade Wilson goes into that room and kills everybody, it's funny as hell, you know. But they did what you just don't do to Wolverine in that one. They sewed his mouth shut.
I mean, Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah, they sewed his mouth shut, and they gave him. They gave him two swords coming out. It was just dumb. The ending of that movie was horrible. It was so bad. It really
that was also one of the first movies that fully leaked out on the internet.
Really?
Yeah, before it was unfinished. The special effects weren't finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got out there before full work print got out there before before the movie came out.
Yeah, and that was in 2009. That one came out. I'm trying to think. I think the next one after this one, and we're not done talking about this one yet, because my boy Cyclops is in this one. I think he's one of the young guys that's being detained at that place, because the big takeaway from it, yes, the cast of John Carter is in this movie, because the guy that played John Carter, what is that kid's name? He plays Gambit. Now, Gambit is one of the favorites of people that read the X-Men. He's from my home state of Louisiana. He's a Cajun from New Orleans area. Yeah, Remy LeBeau. And he had been teased in the movie before. I think there was records, and you actually saw his name on something.
Yeah.
And I think it was in The Last Stand. But
didn't you see it like in Cerebro or something?
Yeah, Taylor Kitsch plays him, and God love him. I enjoy that actor, man. I'm one of the guys that, and I'm not the only one. Disney really screwed the pooch with John Carter. It's a great movie. If you've never seen it, watch it. It's good, but they totally screwed up the advertising for that movie.
That's because they took all the money from it and used it to buy Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. It's sad when they had their own Star Wars right there. Yeah. You know, all they had to do was put the money into that.
And the thing is, they didn't have to pay anybody for it.
No.
Because it was public domain.
Public domain. Boom. You got it, man. Do it. I mean, we could do a whole show just on that movie. I mean, it is fantastic, man. It really is. But we've got some, like I said, I like this movie all the way up until the end of it. The end of it is just so bad. And you get you see a lot of these characters for the first time. You see Gambit, you know, he goes and recruits Gambit to help him. You see what's her name? The diamond skin chick. Emma Frost. You see her for the first time, but you know, like I said, that this is where the timetables get really screwy in this series, because here she's a teenager. And then you see her later on in the reboot when they went back to the 60s, and she's a grown female, fully stacked grown female. So they play with the timeline a lot in these movies. But anyway, the part at the end was just so bad, though, that I believe it's in the second Deadpool movie. They even make jokes about it.
They kill him. And he goes and kills himself.
He straight up kills him in the post-credits scene.
Comes out and goes, "You're welcome."
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
He shoots Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. We'll get to that. So
we'll get to it. Yeah. But I do have to point out, this is a comic accurate leather jacket that he wears in the movie. A lot of people freaked out about this, because this is actually one of the first times they got his costume right.
Yeah.
You know, because this is what he looks like when he's walking around, right? But anyway, I just wanted to throw that little tidbit in there. So the next one, I'm pretty sure, I think it's Wolverine.
Yeah, the Wolverine.
Pretty sure the Wolverine is the next one. I don't think they did the reboot until after this one,
which they kind of screwed up a little bit too. They had this wonderful story about him going to Japan.
Yeah, I didn't know the lore behind this character. I really didn't. The Wolverine, guys, if you've never seen it, it's a decent movie. It's better than Origins. Okay, I'll give it that. But this, go ahead and tell them what the story is with that. You see it right there on the screen.
Yeah,
I believe it's the nuclear bomb going off, isn't it?
Yeah,
something like that.
But yeah, he goes. He goes. I guess he saved somebody. He saved him in the past, and he goes back to help him because he's an old man now.
Yeah.
And but yeah, he falls in love. I think it's his daughter. But yeah, they have this
daughter. Yep.
They have this whole relationship in Mariko. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I think this is the son, right?
Yeah.
Harada. Yeah. And this actor right here, Hiroki Sanada, is really good. He plays the old man in it. Yeah. But it's the Silver Samurai is the character that he ends up helping out. And yeah, that's right. Jean Grey's in a nightmare scene he has. I forgot about that because she's dead at this point, guys. Like I said, they fuck with the timelines a lot in this. But in my favorite X-Men movie, they fix that. But we'll get to that. But anyway, this one is a good movie. It's a good action movie. But
I liked it.
It's a standalone though. You could totally forget this movie and you would not kill the franchise at all. I mean, it's a standalone Wolverine story, which is cool. I mean, he's a loner, and that's he's never been a team player, man, and that's what I never liked about him. He's a selfish prick. He just is, and some people are into that. I get it. The rebel without a cause thing. So,
yeah, I mean, they missed a lot of opportunities. I mean, because Marco becomes the leader of the Hand.
Yeah. Right. And I think actually in the Elektra movie, he plays a member of the Hand in it, doesn't he? The actor does. I don't even know if that's the same character.
No, I don't think it's the same character. No.
Okay. But it's the same actor. This guy right here. Hang on. He's in Elektra. This guy right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten he was in Elektra.
Yeah.
I forgot that movie entirely.
Really? See, I liked Elektra. I thought, but then again, I like hot chicks. Everybody knows that. So
yeah. But
eye candy goes a long way with me.
That's because it was the direct sequel of that attempt at Daredevil.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I just kind of pretend that didn't happen.
Right. I got you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they did miss a lot of opportunities with this because it did have some good characters. What was the kid's name that was running around with him? This is the first time.
Sunfire.
Say it again.
Is it the kid becomes Sunfire?
Okay.
I think that's the same kid.
Yeah, but man, wow. You're right. They missed some opportunities with that movie. It's good. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I would say this is middle of the road when it comes to the X-Men movies.
If you take it out of the whole Marvel Fox continuity, it's an enjoyable, self-standing movie.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of like Rogue One in the Star Wars bunch.
Yes,
it's the Rogue One of this bunch of things. It's good. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The next one would be First Class. Yeah. Yep. This is the reboot, and once again they knocked the freaking casting out of the park. Oh, yeah. I was kind of freaked out by James McAvoy, who I was already becoming a fan of. I'd already seen he was in Wanted. He was in The Last King of Scotland, which I loved.
He was in Wanted?
Yes, he's in Wanted. James McAvoy?
Yeah.
He's the main character in Wanted.
I had forgotten that. I completely glossed over that was James McAvoy.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm sorry. The main character of Wanted is Angelina Jolie. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Whatever, bro. But yeah, man. Michael Fassbender as the young Magneto. They re-show the opening of the first X-Men movie in it with different actors, and it's just a really, I mean, look, when I saw this, and you can say what you want about the guy, Bryan Singer's a flake, we know that, but at this point, after I saw this movie, was he involved in this one? I thought he directed this one, but I guess I was wrong. No, Matthew Vaughn did this one.
Yeah,
I love this. I love everything he does too. Matthew Vaughn makes great movies.
Yeah,
He's the guy behind the Kingsman movies and all that stuff, man. Yeah. This guy makes great flicks. But the guy, Bryan Singer, was the director of the first two, and I'll get back to him because he steps into this as well down the line. But this reboot I thought was fantastic, and what I loved about it is they started making this a historical period piece with this one. This one takes place at the beginning, or excuse me, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the world is almost at war, and we find out it's all because of the Hellfire Club. It's Shaw and his bunch are actually manipulating the world powers to get into World War III to destroy the humans. Right? Played by Kevin Bacon. I mean, if you don't have enough ammo for doing 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon, whatever game you want to play, here's another one for you, right? Oliver Platt's in it as the agent with the CIA that helps him out. I mean, the cast is just phenomenal, and Jennifer Lawrence, J-Lo or J-Law, whatever you want to call her. She was good. She was good stepping into the shoes of
those are a couple of really big shoes to fill.
They are. Are you kidding me? What's funny to me is how when they make these movies, some of the characters you would never think would become fan favorites actually get momentum and become huge parts of the story. I mean, in my favorite X-Men movie, which is coming up, she is at the center of it. It's and we'll talk about it, but this movie I thought was a fantastic reboot. The fact that they made it happen during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and we find out why Charles is in the chair. I thought that was cool as shit, man. Freaking Magneto's trying to save his friend's life and ends up crippling him for life. It's just, it's a great twist, man. I thought it was fantastic. I thought this whole thing was great. Like I said, it's not comic book accurate at all, but they use the outline, they use the characters correctly, and it's just dynamite, man. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, the only thing about it that, we're not going to see Jean Grey in the bustier and everything, because at one point in the comic book, she joins the Hellfire Club. Yeah. Jean Grey gets shopped around town, man. She goes to a lot of different
Black
directions.
Queen at one point.
Yeah, she does. Emma Frost being the White Queen, and Jean Grey becomes the Black Queen. And we're not going to see that, but I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really cool take on it. So that leads us to,
and you had some important characters that most people kind of gloss over. You have some characters like, was it the bee chick? What's her name?
The bee chick? Oh, the wasp chick.
Wasp chick.
Hang on a second. Let me pull it back up.
What her character name is?
Oh yeah. Angel. No, it can't be Angel. No.
No, that's who it is. Yeah, Angel Salvador. Yeah. That's the character's name. She has like a code name, and I don't remember what it is.
I can't remember what it is either.
But friggin' January Jones is Emma Frost in this.
Oh my God, smoking! I mean, if you've got fantasies about Emma Frost, they get fulfilled in this movie. Even though it's PG-13, oh my God, she fits into that friggin' corset just fine. Ooh.
Nightcrawler's dad is in this.
Nightcrawler's dad,
Azazel, yeah.
That's his dad?
I think so.
Really? I didn't know that. There's a guy just like Nightcrawler that can teleport, only he's red. He's got a tail like Nightcrawler and everything, only he's red. Yeah, Azazel's his name. I did not know that was his dad. I mean, I'm not. I don't know everything about all these characters.
They've retconned it in 2023.
Have they really?
Yeah, but he was originally the father of Nightcrawler.
Okay, all right, cool. But you get introduced to some new characters in it and everything, and you see that the X-Men were working with the government, and that's actually something that happens in the comic books. Believe it or not, they actually when we started getting great Chris Claremont run in X-Men. There were so many more characters, and some people were wanting the original team back together. And so what they did was they did a spin-off.
X Factor.
It was called X Factor. Thank you. Because X-Force, with Deadpool coming, X-Force, that's all I can think. Right? But it's X Factor, and it was the original team, and they were working for the government to hunt mutants down, but it was all a front. They were actually smuggling them out and getting them help and all that stuff, And it was really cool. It was a good book. I enjoyed that one.
I actually prefer the second X Factor team, but
well, I like Cyclops, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know you like Cyclops.
It's my guy.
Because
I dig him.
You had Havoc, you had Polaris, you had Strong Guy, you had Wolfsbane.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's cool. I never saw the second one. I stopped collecting for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So First Class is my movie. The next one. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it's still a ways off because we got to go to 2016 to hit Deadpool. So
right. So the next one in the series,
Days of Future Past.
Is it Days of Future Past? Well, we have arrived, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion,
because it
is Days of Future Past.
It's before Apocalypse, so yeah.
It's Days of Future Past. We have arrived at 2014. My favorite X-Men movie of all time. That's my humble opinion. Okay. Remember, it's just my opinion. But
this is taken from the absolute best X-Men story arc ever written. And
you know what? That story arc goes across 2 comics, but it was so impactful to that series of books that it changed everything for that storyline. And it's not comic book accurate. This movie is not comic book accurate at all. No. Actually, what happens is Wolverine and Kitty Pryde go into the future, and they find out all. And this is just for you guys that want to know the comic book lore. They find out all the X-Men are dead, all of them except for 2 of them. Right? The only 2 that are left are Jean Grey, of course. Everybody gets a piece of Jean Grey. Well, the government gets a piece of Jean Grey and turns her into a mutant called the Hellhound. And all her job is to hunt down mutants and kill them. Yep. They're all in camps. Now, that part I thought was cool, where they showed the camps with the mutants and the humans that helped them at the beginning of it. I thought that was cool as shit. I was like, that's cool, But the other guy that's alive, of course, is Wolverine. You can't kill this motherfucker. And he started a resistance movement up in Canada. That's where he's at, up in Canada. Yeah. So, but really, this is
basically the first version of Old Man Logan.
Of Old Man Logan. That's what it is. Yeah. The first time you see Old Man Logan is in this storyline. And it's only 2 comic books. Do me a favor and search it up for me real quick. I used to know it right off the top of my head, but the cover of it is iconic. If you can get the cover, and we'll share it real quick. It's him and Kitty Pryde with a spotlight on him, and all of it is wanted posters behind him, and it's all different X-Men, and there's a stamp on them that says deceased. It's very fucking cool. It's a great cover, and I think that's a John Byrne cover, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure that's a John Byrne piece. Yeah, that's John Byrne. I'd recognize his art anywhere, man. That is that one right there, and the next one, 141 and 142. The name of the story is Days of Future Past. And look, get your hands on that book and read it. It is fantastic. And the main thing it does, it introduces the Sentinels to the story. And these are things they have to deal with through the rest of time. It's ridiculous. And I thought
that cover is just iconic.
Yeah,
and it's been copied and parodied.
Yes, several times, no doubt. It's one of my favorites. But Days of Future Past, once again, the other thing about this one is we had both casts playing their parts in this movie. You had the the older characters from the first 3 X-Men movies playing themselves in the future, and then you had the new cast playing them in the past in the 70s. It was fucking fantastic, man. I mean, the cast for this was off the chain. It was absolutely bananas, man. They had both guys playing Eric Lyncher and Charles Xavier. Of course, there's only one guy playing Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
You had McAvoy as Professor X. I mean, I don't think they had the other Mystique in it, though. I don't think she was in it. What's her name? Stamos?
Rebecca
Romaine. That's it. Yeah, she
used
wasn't.
To be Rebecca Romaine. Stamos. I think she was
Right.
Stamos at this time, but
right. But they're all in this, man, and it's fantastic. But it goes kind of like they figure out that Kitty Pryde, Elliot Page's character, can the opening scene in this one, it rivals the one from X-Men 2. It really does, because you see them all get wiped out in the opening scene by Sentinels.
Yeah.
It is fucking awesome. But right at the last second, and you get to see Bishop for the first time on screen, which is a fan favorite, man. And he takes energy and he can manipulate it and release it and in different ways. He likes to do it through weapons and stuff. It's pretty cool. But she's using Bishop to send a message back in time, just a couple of days, to let them know the attack's coming, and they're not there. So they decide to send Wolverine back because he's the only guy who won't be torn apart, because the trip's going to take it's going to rip somebody apart going that far back in time, but he can heal himself, so he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And it takes place during the peace accords after the Vietnam War, 1972. And it is something else, guys. It is fucking great movie. The only complaint I have about this movie is we didn't see enough of the Future War. I wanted to see more of the Future War. I really did. But what's our guy's name from Game of Thrones that plays Bolivar Trask?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage is great as Trask. He's the guy that invents the friggin' Sentinels, and he's just a scientist trying to play with things. Really, he doesn't seem like he hates mutants, but he definitely likes to toy with them. And I think of him as a Joseph Mengele type. I think he's just, I don't think he understands he's hurting things. He's just trying to figure shit out. But the story is fantastic. And what makes this movie great, and I'm going to use the analogy I always use when I talk about this. If you've ever seen The Dark Knight, that movie's not about the Joker, and it's not about Batman. It's about the war for Harvey Dent's soul. That's what that movie's about, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here, only it's Mystique. That they're trying to get Mystique, because turns out that they're going to get her. She's going to be captured, get to her DNA, and it's going to transform the Sentinels into something they can't fight anymore. They have no chance of winning against them, because it absorbs their powers, and they can mimic the powers through the DNA of Mystique, adding that to the machine. And it's just a fantastic story, man. If you guys have not seen this movie, you need to see it. Me personally, it's my favorite X-Men movie of all time. I dig it. The next 2 in this series, we'll talk about them. I think the next one's Deadpool. It might be Apocalypse, though.
No, it's Apocalypse.
Is it Apocalypse? Okay. Let's pull that one up.
Because I think it's like 2014 for Apocalypse.
Yeah. Apocalypse, I feel like their big mistake with Apocalypse, they should have made this 2 movies.
Yeah.
I think it should have been longer. You know what I'm saying? X-Men Apocalypse is the name of it. Hang on, I'm pulling it up now, guys.
And really, it was a waste of Oscar Isaacs.
It was. That's what I was. Those words were about to come out of my mouth. It really was. Oscar Isaacs, who is a
2016,
great actor.
so it came out the same year as Deadpool.
It came out the same year as Deadpool. Okay, let's check the dates then. I'm not sure. They used to show the exact dates, but that's okay. This one takes place in the 80s. You see, we're going 60s, 70s, 80s, right? They're doing it in a different decade again. But this time, you know, well, I don't know how to say this. Apocalypse is the first mutant. Now that is comic book accurate. He was the first mutant. He's been around since the beginning of time, right?
Yeah.
And in this one, he's entrapped in a Egyptian cave, and he comes out of it, and he starts recruiting his horsemen. And the horsemen were all wrong, if you ask me. But
Storm's not a horseman.
No. Magneto's not a horseman. Psylocke's not a horseman. I mean, you know, but they did get one of them right, and that's Angel. They gave him metal wings, and that's what everybody was looking for anyway. So I didn't really have an argument with that. It's just, this movie was just, I don't know. It just, there was no, it didn't seem like there was much of a threat to me. I mean, it just didn't seem like it seemed like if they pulled it together, they could kick this guy's ass anytime they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't afraid for them at any point in this movie. I really wasn't. But we
the
got
other cool thing that I like is they actually did Storm's iconic look with her mohawk.
Yes, they did.
That's my favorite look of Storm.
Yeah. Storm was introduced into the team. She was she in Egypt? I think she was. No,
yeah,
I think she was in Egypt, even though she's African in the comic books. But
Egypt's in Africa.
Okay, I didn't. I'm not geographically ignorant, but I thought that she was from Africa, though.
Yeah, she's from Africa,
but anyway, you had Moira McTaggart come back to the story. She had been in it before. And then one of the characters I really dug, of course, who doesn't dig some Olivia Munn, man? And she was in it as Cyclops, or listen to me, Cyclops, Psylocke. And Psylocke is a popular character. A lot of people love that character, man. But yeah, Wolverine isn't in this set of movies yet, but he doesn't make his first appearance, I don't think, until the next one, right? As Weapon X.
He shows up in the first one because they go into the bar. And
that's right. That's right. He does have a cameo in the first one of these. Yes, he does. Absolutely.
They come in, he goes, fuck off. And
then I forgot all about that when we were talking about Days of Future Past, when he runs into him again in the 70s and he can walk again. And he tells him, I remember you. We came to you looking for help. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you told us then. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I did forget about that. Yeah. So, but he's not in Apocalypse. He's not in Apocalypse at all. But yeah, man. This movie it's okay. I don't think it's a total failure, but Apocalypse is such a better story and such a better bad guy than they portrayed in this movie. He really is. I'll tell you, the best part of this movie to me was the Eric Lenscher part in Europe.
Yeah.
Where he was trying to hide, trying to live a normal life. He had a kid, he had a daughter, and he does show up in this. He shows up in this at Weapon X at the end of it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He does show up in this one. And he has a moment with Jean Grey, right? Jean Grey kind of stops him in his tracks. Yeah. I did forget about that. Yeah. So he does have a cameo in every one of these movies at some point. Okay. So that one, you got to watch it to keep the continuity, but it's kind of like the Wolverine, it's just, you could take it out and not worry about it. But the next one in this series of movies, boys and girls, is the one that really, I think, was a game changer for the Marvel movies. And that's the original Deadpool, the same year, 2016. And I've got to be honest, guys, I hated this character in the comic book. I couldn't stand this fucking dude. I thought he was a fucking troll. I really did.
I thought he was overrated. Everybody's like, oh, Deadpool. It's like,
yeah, I'm like, whatever, man. Rob Liefeld, have fun. Whatever,
Yeah.
But he was made basically to to mimic Deathstroke from
Deathstroke.
DC and make fun of Spider-Man, okay,
Yeah.
with the mask, okay? That's and the outfit. That's what they did basically is they took Deathstroke and put him in a Spider-Man outfit. And it was all supposed to be a joke, and it just caught fire. People loved it. They thought it was really funny. And the thing that always used to chap my ass is everybody's like, yeah, he breaks the fourth wall. I'm like, yeah, She-Hulk did that way before he did it.
Yep.
You know, but you know, hey, c'est la vie. They decided not to put the creative effort into She-Hulk and just do a lame version of it. But Ryan Reynolds, this is obviously a passion project of his. He was born to play this part. He is a huge fan of the character. And you always get better stuff when the guy that's making it is a fan of the source material.
Exactly.
Because my God, I love Deadpool. I love this movie. I still wouldn't buy one of the comic books, but I dig this movie because I know what the character is, and this is it. This is fantastic, man. And there's no way to make one of these movies and not make it rated R. When I heard Disney was going to make one of these, I was like, how? You know, they don't make rated R movies.
They do now.
But apparently they do now. They want to get some of that sweet MCU money out of this. So here we go with some Deadpool. It's a great story. And like he says, it's a love story, right? No, it's not. It's a revenge flick. That's what it is.
It came out on, it's a chick flick. It came out on Valentine's Day.
It's a chick flick. It came out on Valentine's Day. It's true. It's all true. Oh, man. But my gosh, Marina Baccarin as his love interest. Is there anything that girl's not gorgeous in? Good Lord. I mean, I know everybody remembers her from fucking Firefly and Serenity, and she's just a babe. Weasel, TJ Miller may be one of my favorite side characters I've ever seen in a movie. The bartender at the fucking Deadpool there is just too fucking funny. It really
got
is.
me too'd.
Yeah. But it's got some good characters. What is Negasonic Teenage Warhead? Is that really her name in the comic books?
She's a real character.
Of course, the CGI Cyclops is great too. That character was completely CGI, and I can't remember who played him, but hang on, I'm sure it's down here.
Stefan. That's right. Oh, he does the voice.
Kapicki?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he did a good job with the voice, man. Because that friggin' cab driver. Look, guys, if you've never seen Deadpool, I don't know what you're talking. That scene where he's telling him, "You should never do that." I'm so proud of you. That was just so fucking great, man. Oh my God. Oh, it's too funny. This show is off the chain. You've got to see it if you've never seen it.
The fight at the helicarrier.
I don't think there's anybody that hasn't seen this movie by now.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is just my favorite line he speaks is when he walks by or farts and says #drive-by. That's my favorite joke in the whole fucking movie. It's so great.
This movie made Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it did. He was already a rising star. I mean, you know, people knew him from Van Wilder and some other things, but yeah, once he made this movie, that was it. Yeah.
This is where he becomes the Hollywood juggernaut he is today.
Right. And he can get anything made he wants, really. He's got that, like Schwarzenegger years before, like Tom Cruise, you know, like Dwayne Johnson. These guys can get anything made, and he's one of them now. It's ridiculous. Okay, so the next one is, I mean, I don't know how you can do this. I don't know how it's possible to make a movie worse than The Last Stand, but they did it. They actually did it. Telling the same damn story again. And they screwed it up worse.
This time.
They screwed it up worse. In 2019's Dark Phoenix. Oh my God, how horrible was this movie? It was off the chain bad. Off the chain bad.
The only good part and he's the best part of the other ones is Evan Peters as Quicksilver.
Yeah. I forgot to mention him. Quicksilver does. Yeah. Evan Peters plays Quicksilver in this rebooted series with the younger actors. And who is it? Andy Taylor Johnson played him in the MCU. It's supposed to be the same character, and he's more comic book accurate in the MCU because he is sister and brother with the Scarlet Witch. I don't remember. Is Magneto their father? I don't remember.
They don't.
I don't think he is in the comic books. Yeah.
Oh, in the comic books, yeah, he is in the comics.
He is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But he is in these movies right here too. But yeah, this was horrible from them making Genosha, instead of it being a thriving country that uses mutants for all the mundane tasks and basically turns them into lobotomized slaves. No, that's a place that they exiled fucking Magneto to with a bunch of his people. Whatever. I mean, just stupid. They kill off Mystique. It's a bad movie. Don't watch this movie. I won't say that about many movies. Don't watch this movie. There's nothing redeeming about it. Nothing. It's horrible.
I went to the theater to see it.
I did too. I said, yeah, they've done so good with these movies. Maybe it'll be just as good as the other movies they've made so far. They kind of stumbled with Apocalypse. They stumbled. It wasn't super bad, I can't believe, every time you think they've already made the worst movie they're ever going to make, they outdo themselves. And it's the same story. If they would just take it from the comic book and put it on the screen, they would knock it out of the park. But no, they've got to fuck with it. It's ridiculous, man. But anyway, then we got Deadpool 2.
And
we're going to go over a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We're going to go over a little bit tonight, but that's just the way it is. If we're going to cover this properly, we got to do it properly. Deadpool 2, which introduced Cable to the mix. And actually, this was before Dark Phoenix. I got the timeline off here.
Was it?
This one's in 2018.
Yep.
Sorry. This one was 2018, and Dark Phoenix comes after this. But don't worry about it. You don't need to know about Dark Phoenix anyway, because it sucks. Yeah. You want to watch Dark Phoenix? Go watch The Last Stand, and just imagine that Jean Grey doesn't die.
There is hilarious.
Yes, it is.
They do just for the PG-13 cut of Deadpool.
Yeah. But this movie right here, it introduces Domino, introduces Cable.
It does basically X Factor.
Yeah, X-Force.
X-Force, not X Factor.
X-Force. Yeah. That's okay. I put that in your head when I was talking about that stuff earlier. Josh Brolin does a great job as Cable, and he has no time for Deadpool's bullshit.
Villains like Tom Cassidy.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, the cameos in this were awesome. The invisible guy was Brad Pitt. We didn't know it until he got killed by the electrical wires.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But Juggernaut's in that. I think he was another CGI character.
Yeah, he's purely CGI.
Which he needs to be. He was huge. The Juggernaut we got in The Last Stand was good. It was cool.
Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah, I'm Juggernaut, bitch. It was good, I guess, but this one really
comic
looked
accurate.
Like Juggernaut. It was pretty cool. It was a proper use of CGI. But yeah, this was a fun movie, man. Got a little bit away from the formula of him being more street level and stuff, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was good story and everything. But funny. I mean, my God, Ryan Reynolds crack your ass up just playing the part. He He's so good at this smart ass humor. It's not even funny,
Yeah.
man.
And it does something rarely that sequels do, and that is capture lightning in a bottle and be just as good as the original.
Yeah, it is just as good as the original one. There's a bigger roster in it and everything, but yeah, it's just as good. That's why everybody's so hyped for this one. And
Oh yeah,
we did get one other one before this one that's coming out this time around, and it's called The New Mutants. And a lot of people don't even mention this one.
I liked the New Mutants.
I did too, and that's why I wanted to touch on it. The New Mutants came out in 2020.
Yeah.
It was the height of the pandemic when it came out, I think, or it might have been right before it.
It was. I think it was the first movie I went to. It might have been the first one I went to see at the theater after they started opening back up.
Yeah. But this movie right here, we got our first look at that big-eyed girl, Anya Taylor-Joy, and she plays one of my favorite characters in the fucking mutant story. She plays Colossus's sister, the Dark Child, as she's known, Magic.
Mutant.
I love the scene in this movie where they're having the therapy session and they're all talking about when they got their powers. And she says, I killed 13 men and enjoyed every minute of it. but I mean, liking her, though, it can get you in trouble because she's extremely young. She's not very old. They don't tap into this, but in the comic books, she's hot as hell, but she's only like 2 years old or something 15. Like that. Yeah, she's extremely young. But she can travel between Limbo and here. And that's the thing, man. It's pretty cool. I created her character on DC Universe Online, and I've got her with the horns and everything. You know how you can change your looks on that thing. I've got one of my armories that's got her in that Dark Child look, right down to the centaur like legs and everything. Man, it's pretty cool looking. But they did
a lot of stuff right with this movie.
Yeah, they did,
and it's a shame it didn't get the traction that it should have. But
no,
I blame the pandemic mostly for this.
Right, a lot of people didn't see it,
and this was also the first movie that Disney released under the Fox banner because they had just bought Fox.
Right, and they had actually been sitting on this one. It was on the shelf. They didn't know how to market it or anything because they did portray it as being the first horror movie of the superhero genre.
Yeah,
kind of, and but some of the characters they had in it were great, man.
Macy Williams as Rain Sinclair, Wolfsbane.
Yeah,
they got the whole thing about her character. She's this mutant werewolf basically, but she's got this whole Catholic guilt thing.
Yeah,
and they nailed it. They did perfectly in this movie.
They did a good job with the characters. I just I wish they'd have gotten more into the lore behind my girl. Magic, and how she can move between worlds and stuff. But you're right. They did. They nailed it, man. And
this was about Danny. I mean, this was about, is it Moonstar?
Mm-hmm.
Moonstar. Yeah. It's basically her story.
Yeah. And the rest of them are support characters, but but I liked it. I thought it was a good movie too. It was universally panned, but that's why I say I'm never going to poo-poo people for what they like, because there's some movies that people think are trash and I just think are awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And this is one that I enjoyed thoroughly. I really did. I've watched it a few times. I'm a big fan of the characters that are in this. Yeah. But anyway, that's the New Mutants, and that's the last one we got. They have been teasing the mutants in the MCU for a while now, and now now it's happening. And from all accounts, man, it sounds like it's happening in the right way. And who'd have thought Deadpool's character would be the one to bring him in like this?
Yeah, he's supposed to be the one that kills everybody.
He's the one in the comic books, there's one called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Yep,
and he does it just for fun to see if he can do it.
Yep.
It's ridiculous, man.
I know the author, so it's he's from Kansas area, so I see him at like cons a lot, and we have mutual friends, so I've hung out with him quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this much, man. I am looking forward to it now that I know from a couple of guys that I trust when it comes to movies that it it's got holes, but what movie doesn't?
No.
But the main thing I heard that makes me hyped to go see this fucking movie is no Disney interference. And I kind of knew that was going to happen when Ryan Reynolds put his name on it, because that guy doesn't need to take shit from Disney.
No.
He really doesn't.
He's
got his own cell phone company. He's got his own soccer team. He's done well with his money. So is his wife.
Jen.
Yeah, and come on, man. Come on.
His wife's best friends with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
he's gonna be hanging out with Kelsey when he retires, right?
Yeah, they're in rarefied air there, but yeah, but I mean, Ryan Reynolds, he basically put his foot down and said, "I'll walk. You mess with this movie, I'll walk.
You mess with this movie, I'll walk.
I don't need the movie. I'm doing this because I enjoy it.
Yeah, because I love this character and I want to do another movie." And then he
wanted to do one with his friend Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, that's it.
He got Hugh Jackman to come out of retirement.
Because if you see the Deadpool movies, he's always joking around about Wolverine. He always is. Like at the end of the first one, whenever he's going to reveal his face to the girlfriend finally, he's got Hugh Jackman's face stapled to his face in paper. He made a copy of Hugh Jackman's face and put it in his face.
Cut him out of a magazine or something.
It's so great, man. Oh my God. It's so great. If you like laughs, go see it. If you like action, go see it. You're going to get both. And from what I hear, this is the most grisly Marvel movie ever made. I hear this is just bloody as all get out.
Good.
They are not nice in how they kill people in this movie, from what I understand.
Deadpool is supposed to be gory.
Yeah. And so is Wolverine. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Wolverine's supposed to be no holds barred too. And you know what? The one we forgot to talk about, what year was it when Logan came out?
Oh, Logan. We forgot about Logan. Logan is probably the best single Wolverine story that they've done so far.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, let me see. Logan.
Because I mean, it's old man Logan, so you can't really.
Yeah, it's old man Logan without She-Hulk and the Hulk in it, which is good.
Yeah. I'm glad
that got kind of weird. Yeah, that got kind of weird. It really did.
Yeah.
It was almost like Rule 34 books there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Hulk and
really strange.
So people that don't know, Hulk and Old Man Logan, Hulk and She-Hulk hook up and have kids.
Yeah. The cousins hook up and have kids. Weird.
Yeah.
But
and they're all rednecks, so which is
how could I forget Logan? How could I forget that movie right there? What is wrong with me? How could I do it? Logan. R-rated.
Yep.
2017. So it came before New Mutants. It came before Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, this really is one great movie. It's so funny. Kevin Feige actually told Hugh Jackman, and this is just something I read in an article, that he had told him, "Your ending was fantastic in Logan. Don't do this movie, Deadpool." He was trying to talk him out of it, not doing it, right? Yeah. And thank God he didn't listen to him.
Daphne Keane in this movie kills it as X-23.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. And I can't wait to. This is not a spoiler, guys. She's going to be in this movie too. So looking forward to that.
Caliban is in this movie.
Yeah, Caliban. My God. Yeah. It's been a while since I saw this, but this is a rough movie to watch, man.
Oh, it is.
Look, this is in a timeline, and this happens a lot in the X-Men stories. That they have offshoots. This is a standalone movie too. Okay, you could actually discount this from lore, but X-Men, Professor X is getting older and near death, and I know I'm going through it with my mother. She's starting to get dementia. Well, imagine what a telekinetic, what would happen when his mind starts going. Well, you see it in this movie, and that scene in the hotel where he's trying to get in there and save them when he's having a seizure. That is one of the fucking coolest things I've ever seen on film, man. It is awesome. I don't know how they did that effect with the vibration and everything, but my God, it was awesome, man. It was fantastic.
And Patrick Stewart just playing the Charles Xavier at the end of his life, and he's going through dementia.
Yeah,
he kills it. I mean, it's just you're reminded again why Patrick Stewart's one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah, and you know, you don't have to agree with his politics, but the guy's a great actor. He's a fantastic actor. But you're right. Stephen Merchant knocked it out of the park as Caliban. I mean, I think we actually saw Caliban in Apocalypse, I think. But it wasn't this version of it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these things are different.
I think in this timeline, he ended up getting the X-Men killed.
Right. Yeah. So you've got those two, and you've got X-23, who we find out is part of a program where they're manipulating DNA to create mutants and try and use them as weapons. And there's a whole lot more of them. And she has gotten a hold of an X-Men comic book, and she thinks it's real and all this other stuff. And come to find out it is real, you know, like the comic books were some kind of propaganda front or something like that. It's a really cool take on it. And our guy Logan, he has a heroic end where he saves the kids, but it costs him his life. And it's damn awesome. It really is. The whole movie, he's pretty much dying the whole time too. They're all old. This takes place in a dystopian future. Not too far in the future though. It's you know, it looks like any city you and I would walk into. You know, they're in a casino at one point and all this stuff. But
you can tell by the cars, or it's definitely you got a lot of Cybertruck looking stuff,
right? And the main guy chasing him has got cybernetics on him. He's got machine parts, and but he fights himself. They had actually cloned him, and he actually fights himself, a younger version of himself. And it's an amazing movie. It really is. When it comes to the superhero genre, I would say when it comes to the X-Men movie, this is like, oh God, what's the name of that one that I love? The DC one where they decided to make an R-rated Justice League movie. It's got Dr. Manhattan and all that stuff.
Oh, that's Watchmen.
Yeah, that's what I equate this to. This is like the Watchmen of the Marvel movies.
Actually, fun fact: the Watchmen isn't Justice League. The Watchmen is from Charlton. Is based on characters from Charlton Comics.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought he was trying to make an adult version of the Justice League. I didn't know that.
His characters are all based on Charlton Comics characters.
Okay, cool.
I did not know that. Captain Atom. Night Owl is Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Silk Spectre's Nightshade. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But this movie here, I can't believe we forgot about this one, man.
Yeah.
But it takes place before Deadpool 2 and before Dark Phoenix. Oh God.
We didn't want to taint it with Dark Phoenix. That's what it was. That's why
That's what it was. Yeah. Because
because this has nothing to do with. I mean, this is completely.
No, this is a standalone movie. It is.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. I do dig that movie. Right out the opening of it, he's chopping limbs off with his claws.
Yeah.
But you know, he's not healing like he should. The adamantium's killing him. We find out. It's been slowly killing him for years. But what a great stuff. Great stuff. And from what I understand, we're going to get a whole lot of cameos from these movies. We know for sure Pyro's in this.
Yeah.
We've seen him in the trailer.
A lot of the people from the 2000s movies show up. A lot of the people from other franchises show up. So yeah,
they were hoping that this movie could reset the Marvel universe, because let's face it, most people haven't enjoyed what they've been doing lately with it.
Yeah.
But
and Paul
I
Rudd
understand it's not going to fix everything, but it's definitely a step in the right direction from what I understand.
Yeah.
And it's more of a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's up to you, Disney, to turn this thing around and get it going in the right direction. And it's not hard. You did it freaking, a decade ago. It's not hard. You've already done it once.
Yeah.
Well, that was Marvel. That was before Disney got a hold.
Yeah.
But don't reinvent the wheel. It's already there.
Yeah.
Get a big bad in place and get us stepping towards it. You ready crazy? Ugh. Anyway.
And a big bad not named Kang.
Not named Kang. Yeah. Kang was never a big bad. Good Lord.
No, he's a middling. I mean, he's
I
a
thought
bad,
Galactus. I thought Galactus was going to be the next big bad.
So
That's what I thought the next one was.
But then again, I'm always hoping for Nihilus. So he's always one of my favorite villains.
Yeah, there you go. Molecule Man. But that doesn't come up till Secret War.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Beyond
Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, folks.
Yeah.
They're look, here's the thing with this movie. Deadpool kind of exists outside of everything. So it's kind of like Spider-Man used to be in the comic book world. He never really interacted with anything else. He was a standalone character, really. They didn't bring him into like the Avengers until after the turn of the century. Yeah. He might have done some stuff with them.
Yeah, he was
not on a regular basis.
Yeah. No, he didn't actually become an Avenger until after 2000.
No, much after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm call me old fuddy duddy. I like him on his own. That's Peter Parker's best when he's being the neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah.
And he's got his little spider crew that,
that's it.
The people in his, you got Venom, you got the, you've got his rogues gallery, and you deal
his rogues gallery to me will always be the Goblin or the Hobgoblin, because the Goblin died a long time ago, but the Hobgoblin, Dr. Octopus, and Venom. That's the three big bads in his stories to me. And there's all kinds of smaller ones. Like, let me tell you something. You want to read something funny?
Vulture.
You want to read some great shit. Watch when Doc Ock is going to marry Aunt May. That whole fucking storyline with Hammerhead trying to kill Doc Ock and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It is fucking hilarious. That story is fantastic.
He has to save Doc Ock.
Yes, he has to save Doc Ock.
He's just shaking his head like, what is my wife coming to?
That's it. When he first sees him in her apartment, and they know who each other are, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's so cool. But anyway,
his spider sense doesn't go off when he's first in there.
No.
And that's what freaks him out, because it's like Doc Ock
because nobody's in danger, right? Nobody's in danger. He's actually, Ock was actually into Aunt May. It's fucking weird, man. It's good stuff, though. But anyway, we could talk comic books all night long.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we could do that. We got to get out of here, man. Yeah. I got a steak coming, and I got some Mass Effect to play tonight. Anything you want to let the folks know before we get out of here that I'm not going to touch on?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, you're watching State of the Atmosphere. This has been the Deadpool Wolverine warm-up. We'll have a non-spoiler. Well, actually, we'll have a spoiler review next week for you. But I'll put up a marker beforehand and everything, because we're all going to see it and we're all looking forward to it. So look forward to a review of that next week. And we'll be here the same time, same bat channel at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Of course, later on tonight, it's at 10 p.m. Central Time. It's Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. And tonight, Martin is pretty sure I'm going to finish Mass Effect tonight in under 20 parts, believe it or not. I'm actually at part 15 tonight. So I will see you at 10 o'clock. I'll have a shot and a beer, and we'll see if I can finish Mass Effect. We're almost there. And that's at 10 p.m. Central Time tonight. And then, of course, you can see me Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time in the afternoon for Sketching the Privateer. I get back to work on the family portrait poster work. Tonight, actually, it's actually going to be a cover for a collected edition later on too, I believe. But for right now, I really want to get this colored and get it printed so you guys can get a chance to get it yourself. And I'm looking forward to putting it out there for you. So come check it out at 1 p.m. Central Time on Sketching the Privateer on my channel. And then at 8 p.m. on Friday night, you can meet my co-host on his show on Pop Culture Minefield. That's Game Night with John. And he's playing through the Telltale series of The Walking Dead. I believe you're still in season 2.
Nope. I finished season 2 and started
moving on to Michonne.
Yeah, I started Michonne. I'm in the first chapter, I think, section 4.
Okay. So go check that out. How many more seasons are there to it?
Well, after I get done with Michonne, which is going to be five chapters.
Right.
There is 2 more. There's I forgot, they call the second one like the next generation, or the new chapter or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And because it's an older Clementine. And then the final season is Clementine and Alvin, the little baby that she saves in 2.
Okay.
He's a young kid. He's 8-10 years old. So it's taking place. She's a teenager, young adult.
Would you say you're farther than halfway through this little journey by now, or do you think you're right at the midpoint?
I am. I'm fairly close to the halfway point. Okay. I finished Michonne. I've only got 2 seasons left.
Okay.
So.
Okay, there you go. Well, go check it out. He's doing it every Friday night at 8 p.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefield's channel. So go check that out. And then, of course, on Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. My gosh, the headlines are coming so fast and furious these days. I put the friggin' thumbnail for this show out at 1 o'clock last week, John. And then all of a sudden the president stepped out of the presidential race. I was like, what in the hell? I can't make these thumbnails late enough. What the hell? But if you want to check out the clown show that is 2024 through the last week's headlines, come check it out at 5 p.m. Central Time when my brother Highlander and I hack the Matrix. That's at 5 p.m. Central Time on my channel. And then Monday, it's back over to Pop Culture Minefield's channel, where Gary, myself, Anima, and Martin talk about military movies. And we're going to be doing Land of the Bad. Apparently, this just went to Netflix. Is that Chris, or is that his brother? I'm not sure. They look so much alike.
Either. Yeah.
I'm going to have to check this out. I have to check. Well, it says Helmsworth and Hemsworth.
Yeah, so it's
both in it. Wow. Okay. All right. That looks like the older one down below and the younger one up top. They look so much alike, though. I can't tell the difference between them 2 bastards. But anyway, come check it out at 10 a.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefield's channel when we do Military Monday. And then at 4 p.m. Central Time on That 70s Rock Fans channel, it's another meeting of the Canon Film Club as we check out King Solomon's Mines, starring Richard Chamberlain, the king of the miniseries at one time.
I'm going to try and take off early to get here. So
I figured you'd want to be there for this one. Alan Quartermain's a great character, and I thought Richard Chamberlain did a great job at it. This is one of the higher quality Canon films you'll see in their library, man.
Yeah,
it's good stuff, man. They made their own Indiana Jones type story with him, and it was pretty cool. Check that out Monday at 4 p.m. Central Time on That 70s Rock Fans channel. And then, of course, it's back to me on Tuesdays with Papa Joe Gamer After Dark. And we're going to be playing some DCUO. I promised my guy Lunatic we'd play once a month. And so we're going to play it the last week of the month, every friggin' month. So check out me playing some DCUO next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time with a shot and a beer. And then, of course, we're right back around here to State of the Atmosphere. And next week's show is going to be, of course, we're going to keep doing our pop culture update, reviewing House of the Dragon, the Sweeney Spot, all that, but we're going to have you that review of Deadpool. I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to see it. John, I don't know about you, but this is the first movie I've been hyped for in a long time.
Oh yeah, same here.
I'm looking forward to it. Been looking forward to it for a while. I'm not really in a hurry to see the Joker. I mean, but this one, man, ever since they announced it, I'm like, wow, this guy is going to make a boatload of cash on this flick.
Yep.
All right, boys and girls. Well, listen, I want to thank you guys for showing up. John, thanks for being here. Knock, if you're still watching, thanks for being here, buddy. And I want you to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, both at Pop Culture Minefield and here. And I want you guys to take it easy. And until we see you again, I want you to keep on keeping on. God bless. Wonder where Jed was at tonight.
I don't know.
Furry convention, maybe? What you think?
That sounds completely reasonable.
We miss you, Jed. See you
Yep.
next time. Be good, guys. Hasta.